Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I know we are the last ones, so we will try to keep as short, as energetic as possible. I'm from Barcelona, so that's why probably you notice some different accent, even from Sonia's. I work for a foundation that in the last 15 years has been buying land. We have been, that was the good times where we had plenty of money. So after about 10 millions of investment, we could buy several 24 areas in our region and became the main landowner in our region. We also have to help to foster, to develop the conservation movement and many conservation projects in our region, and among them that land stewardship movement that Sonia has just tell you. Why we present this proposal now? We have a clear fact. In Europe, private lands dominate the countryside. Of course, 100% of the farmland is under private hands, but also almost half of the forest land is also private. This situation can change and can be diverse according with the regions, and especially in mountain areas, perhaps there are much more communal lands or even state-owned lands. But essentially, that's the situation. The second fact is that private landowners play a critical role. That's very obvious. If we want to implement Natura 2000 network, if we want to implement ecotourism activities and business-related actions, hunting and other wildlife management actions, we have to count with landowners. Nothing will work without the involvement of private landowners in Europe. So having said that, we feel that there is a great potential, and we also feel that there is now the need to engage private landowners on the conservation of natural lands. They already have been doing this, in many cases together with conservation organizations, in many other cases just alone. And when we talk about conservation of natural lands, we are quite broad. We have to talk about wild lands and wilderness, but also to other areas where the semi-natural conditions are prevailing, but there is also a lot of biodiversity in it. And why now? Why? Because we think that this is the right time. The social awareness in most of the European countries has raised during the past decades, and also the prestige for nature conservation initiatives. Now it's cool, nature conservation. And we also feel that many owners of land, they also deserve recognition for that and for the work that they have been doing, or just because they are the custodians of this nature. A second powerful point is that public sector has been almost the driving force until now, but now it's not anymore like this. It doesn't work. Public money is more and more scarce, and there is more and more difficulties to keep this only on the shoulders of the public organizations and the public administration. A third point is that natural values can generate new business models, and we have heard during today many examples of this, so I don't want to stress it. But just to make the point that in many places in the rural Europe, This is a great opportunity, right now. You will see tomorrow when you are going to the different excursions what's the Spanish rural landscape and the Spanish rural conditions. You will see that that's a powerful case for business related to wilderness and nature. And then we have the WILD10. This is the greatest opportunity in the last, I don't know, 20 years in Europe to have a shift. We have to use this opportunity, this momentum, and now, and all the constituency that we are here. So, to finish this initial part of the reasons behind this proposal, let me put a map to acknowledge the foundations and the work that has already been in Europe. That's a very partial and it's an incomplete map, but it's just to let you know which are the main actors, the main organizations, the grasp of what's going on in many parts of this continent. We have, of course, we have, let's say, the pioneers has been always in the Anglo-Saxon countries, especially we have the National Trust and the UK. This is probably the oldest organization working to protect and to set aside land for conservation. At the very beginning, it was very special because they want to set aside this for the people working in cities to have some air and fresh nature to enjoy. But of course, this movement has evolved. In the UK, they have also the John Muir Trust, which is also very active, especially in the northern part in Scotland. The Scottish Wildlife Trust as well. The UK Wildlife Trust. So this is a very powerful example. In the Netherlands, we also have a very powerful and old organization, the Natuurmonumenten, who has been working for more than 100 years, and now it's a very important actor in the country. There are also many other smaller organizations in the Netherlands and also in Belgium and Luxembourg. And also Germany. My colleague Tilmann will let you know a little bit about this, but they also have quite substantial work already done. There is in France, the Conservatoire du Littoral. This is a public agency, but they help a lot to build this constituency of buying land, setting aside land for conservation. So it's not private in a way, but it's a public land that then it's given to other organizations, sometimes local towns, but sometimes also private organizations. And the Conservatoire d'Espaces Naturels, which is a network of regional networks, very interesting and very powerful in France. As I play at home, you see that Spain is full of examples, and that's why we have been working in the last decade here to create these regional networks of land stewardship, many small organizations, some medium organizations, trying to make local projects, but altogether is quite now a substantial part of the rural countryside with these agreements. In Italy, we also have several examples. We also have regional networks in all over Europe, like Pan Parks, Eurosite, Europark, which are not directly managing the land, but they are also providing good ground for these initiatives. And of course, the largest organizations like WWF, BirdLife, sometimes they have land because of their projects, even if there is not a structural way of working for them. we learned also today that in the Carpathians there is now a strong movement in also some other parts of Eastern Europe. The good opportunities, and they are now buying land to set aside for conservation and doing a very good job. So this is more or less is one picture of what's going on, and I will leave this here and give the floor to my colleague Tilmann to finish with this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miquel and Magnus. I'm flattered to be in this group, in this initiative. They called me about 2 or 3 months ago and asked me, do you want to be part of this? Do you want to host the workshop of founding a European Landowners Alliance for Nature and Wildlands with us? And I didn't hesitate to say yes. Why? I'm easily convinced. That's one reason. The other is I truly believe in this initiative and truly believe in the power of joining forces. I don't know how you feel about this conference, but this is the strongest feeling that I get from it so far, is that you're part of something bigger and your own little... It's a great marketplace of ideas, and you just learn new things. And I keep thinking about elephants in Middle Europe now, and from this morning and stuff like that. So that's the power behind joining forces, and I think we lack that right now in Europe. I can only speak for Germany. I'm the coordinator of a network of conservation landowners there, as Magnus said. It's very young, but it's fast growing, and it's quite successful so far. We have about 50 organizations, and yeah, it's very inspiring. We just got back from our second annual meeting, and there's workshops there, there's seminars. We're thinking about developing a logo to make the members of the network feel that they're part of a bigger initiative. If you look at this map and you say, you're from Europe maybe, and you say, where am I on this map? Why is my organization not on it? That's probably good. Please come to a workshop on Thursday and change that. What can we expect from the workshop? Well, the first thing is it's going to depend on you. We really don't know who's going to show up. And depending on the participants in the workshop, we're going to try to define a common denominator. What is it that we all have in common? We will try to do that through formulating a vision statement, formulating common objectives. I think that's a powerful tool to get to an agreement of that sort. But we also talk about working areas. What is it exactly that we can work together on? Should we just share information? Should we learn from best practice examples of different places in Europe? Or do we need a common voice in the political arena? That are things that are completely open as far as I understand so far. So we're at the very beginning right here, and just make sure that when your grandchildren one day say, you remember 2013 in Salamanca, the founding of the ELAN, European Landowners Alliance? And you can say, sure, yeah, I was part of that. And they're like, wow, you were part of that. So make sure that that happens. Apart from that, I'll just leave it with some organizational information. The workshop is on Thursday. We have plenty of time because there's 2 time slots dedicated to it. It's going to be in the auditorium, but not here, but in the other venue. You'll find it in the program. It's called, help me with it, Fonseca. And we have a background paper on this initiative. If you're interested, please feel free to contact me, Miquel, or Magnus, and we'll make sure that you get a copy of that before Thursday. And of course, this workshop is open for all participants of this conference. So if you're not from Europe, please come anyway, and maybe you can tell us about your experiences that you have on your continent, and we'll learn from that. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tilmann and Miquel.